Since ages, in the East, the tradition of taking an enlightened person to the house, making him visit the place where you live or where you do your business, is in the practice. Since ages, they have this practice. Why? What is the reason behind it? As we all think and understand, home is not the place where you live, it is the way how you live. Understand? Home is not the place you live, it is the way how you live. The home is the expansion or the extension of your being. Home is nothing but the extension of your being. If you understand one concept, which is the base of the Vastu Shastra, the scripture which speaks about the ways and methods, the house should be constructed. There is a Shastra, a scripture which speaks on that. It says there are 5 elements in the universe, in the existence. As you all know, the earth, water, fire, air and ether, space. All the 5 elements is nothing but energy. There is an Upanishad which says the whole universe has come from energy, come from the Atman. From the Atma, Akasha, from Akashat, Vayuhu, Vayor Agnihi, Agneir Apah, Apa Prithvihi, Prithivyor Annam. From the Atman, energy, the Akash, ether has come. From the ether, the air has come. From the air, the fire has come. From the fire, water has come. From the water, earth. All these 5 elements are nothing but energy. As we think, they are not matter. For the first time, scientists have turned towards the Eastern spirituality after Einstein. Till Einstein, the mystics and the rishis were thought as fools, or the people whose brains have gone. Always the scientists are the people who work based on the logic. They thought the ancient masters are the mystics. They are mad people or they have some disease. Some of the great psychological books, they classify the strong religious faith as a mental disorder. Strong religious faith or the spiritual experiences are classified as a mental disorder. For a long time, the logical world was thinking the Eastern mystics or the Eastern rishis were mentally sick, or their words have nothing truth, more or less like a superstitions and self-serve rituals. First time after the Einstein, the whole world of logicians, mathematicians and scientists turned towards the East, towards the Upanishads, because of few statements of Einstein. In one place, Einstein says, whatever exists is energy. There is no gap, there is no line, there is no wall between the matter and energy. Whatever exists is energy. Somebody asked him, how matter becomes energy and energy becomes matter. He says, here, for this question, scientists cannot answer, only the mystics can answer. Here ends science and starts mysticism. Actually, the last word is whatever exists is energy. After such a long search, what science has declared, the last word of science is energy. Is the first word of first Veda of the first Upanishad. The first Veda is Rig Veda. First Upanishad is Isha Vasyam Upanishad. The first statement is Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. Whatever exists is energy. Where science ends, spirituality starts. Whatever exists is energy. As you think, there is no boundary between the matter and energy. There is no watertight compound between the matter and energy. The grass energy is matter, subtle matter is energy. Grass energy is matter, subtle matter is energy. When it is subtle, it is energy. When it is grass, it is matter. There is no borderline between these two. These elements are nothing but energy. Earth, water, fire, air and ether. All these five elements are nothing but energy. In East, we had the tradition of worshipping all these five elements. The spirituality started by worshipping these elements only. The earlier upasanas from Svetaswara Upanishad, from the early Upanishads, if you see, there is no mention about the gods or goddesses like this. There is no form in Kena Upanishad and all. There is no form is mentioned. But the nature is worshipped. Because nature is the first doorway towards the divine. We know in this five energy, few things we know. The earth is energy, you can understand. When a stone is used, what effect it makes on somebody. Or if the earth is compressed, how it can become. You know, you can physically see the earth. So earth is energy. It is easy to understand. Water is energy. You know, if the flood comes, what the water can do. Water is energy. You can understand. Fire. When the forest fire happens, you know what's the result. Fire is energy. You can understand. Same way, when the tornado comes, you can understand the air is energy. When the cyclone, tornado, when all these things happens, you can understand that air is energy. But we miss to understand that ether is also energy, the fifth element. Space is energy. Space is also an energy. Ether is also an energy because it is so subtle, so sensitive, we can't feel the happenings in the space of ether. We can feel the happenings in all these four spaces. In the earth, in the water, in the fire, in the air. You can feel, you can sense it. Because of that, we can understand. But we forget to understand that space, ether is also an energy, a power. It is more subtle and more powerful. Because when it becomes subtler, it becomes more powerful, more energetic. The science is created by the masters to handle the power of ether. To handle the power of ether. To use the power of ether in a proper way. To handle the earth, we have a lot of mechanisms, instruments. To handle the water, we have a lot of things. To handle the fire, we have a lot of things. You can use the fire by a proper oven, by a proper furnace. So we have designed so many things to use these four elements. Our masters have designed Vastu Shastra to use the ether element, use the space element. The Vastu, the structure of the house is designed, the science is created to use the space. There are three types of spaces. One is the Chidagasa. Chidagasa means the space which is inside your being, inside your body. The space from which you operate. The second thing is called Mahakasha. Second thing is called Katakasha. The space in which you are living. Third thing is called Mahakasha, the whole sky, whole Prapancha. The Akash, which is inside your body, is called Chidagasa. The Akasha, which is under which you are living, which surrounds you, is called Katakasa. The Akasha, which is all over the universe, the Prapancha, is called Mahakasha. The Mahakasha is always pure, energetic, powerful. But the Katakasha gets imbued by your thoughts. The Katakasha has got the capacity to be energized or to lose its energy by your thoughts. It acts more or less like a alive being. Never think your house is a matter. Your house is an energy. It's an expression of energy. Whenever you can understand this one example. If the water is compressed by a compressor, it becomes energy. By the air, if it is compressed by a compressor, you can even move a train. It becomes energy. Same way, if the ether is compressed in some particular space, in particular shape, again that becomes energy. Iron piece, if it is a square, it's different. If it is I-shaped, steel engineer, it's totally different. The same iron, 1 kg of iron, if it is a rectangle bar, the effect of the power is totally different. If it becomes I bar, more stronger, and totally it's different. The shape plays a major role, even in the grass materials. The iron is one of the element. It belongs to earth element. The earth, according to its shape, the effect and the energy varies. The same way, the ether, Akash, also, according to the shape in which it is locked or it is black, the energy changes. I mean, making you understand what I express? Are you able to understand? Because it's a very subtle concept. It's a very subtle concept, but if you understand, you can understand the great gift or the great research which our masters have done, or the great sacrifice which they did by doing all these researches and creating all this wisdom and giving it to us. If the earth is formed in one shape, that creates a different purpose, that creates a different effect. If it is formed in other shape, that's used for a different purpose and that gives a different result. The same way, the ether can be handled. It can be used in a different forms and in different shapes. The technique to use the ether at its best is what is called Vastu Shastra. Technique to use the ether energy to its maximum level, that formula is only called as Vastu Shastra. When the ether is put in one particular size, inside the room, inside that space, whomsoever lives, they are controlled by that ether, and that ether is in turn controlled by them. Their thoughts affect the ether and the ether affects their thoughts. For example, if you go out and sit in the open sky, by your own feeling, you can understand your being feels expanded. That is why we always love to go and sit outside for relaxation. We always try to go outside and sit. You feel something, your personality is expanding. You are becoming a little more bigger, or your boundary is getting expanded. When you enter in a house where only the 8 feet is the roof level, or the 9 feet is roof level, your head is not hitting. Even then, you feel like being, compressed or shrinking. Your mind does not feel free, or your thoughts are not flowing. The shape in which you are living, the space in which you are living, plays a major role on your mind and thoughts. And the same way, your thoughts play major role on the space on which you are living. House is not the place where you live. House is how you live. It is the extension of your personality. It is the extension of your being. The one more thing you need to understand, in the Vastu there is a sutra which says, and which is proved in modern day, which says, including the rocks and plants and the trees or the furnitures, including all these things, everything responds to your thoughts. That's a research done by some people. I read the research in one of the leading spiritual magazine. They say they planted 3 rows in a pot. The same type of rows, same way the water is given, same way the minerals are given, same type of care is offered. Only one difference. All the 3 are kept in a different room. Every day the owner will go to one plant and curse that plant. You will never be alive. You will never do anything properly. Continuously curse that plant. Next plant, he will not do anything. He will just pour the water and come away. Third plant, he will go and tell, you are going to have a beautiful flowers. Don't bother about it. Your life is totally going to be different. Just words, nothing else. Just words. First plant he will go and through all negative things. Second plant he will go, pour the water, manure and come away. Third plant he will go and speak in a very loving way. I do not know how you will believe. It is done, this research is done for 11 days, 21 times, by 21 different persons. By 11 days, the same thing will be repeated. They say all the 21 times the first plant died. All the 21 times. The second plant grew normally. Third plant, 2 times more it grew. It was flowering. 2 times more. 2 times more. All the 21 times, not once or twice. All the 21 times the first plant died. You can understand how much the thoughts are reciprocated. Our thoughts are affecting the surroundings. And one more thing, like a ECG, now they feel the vibrations of the trees. They have connected some 10 trees in one garden with that machine. The graph of their vibrations are read by the machine. The woodcutter was asked to enter into the garden thinking to cut one tree. He was already given the instruction, you think that you are going to cut this tree and enter the garden. The report says, only that tree graph goes havoc. Not the other trees. Only that tree graph goes havoc. When he enters inside the garden with the idea to cut the tree. So the same man, if he enters without any idea of cutting the tree, that graph is going very normal, smooth. through these few things, you can understand very clearly that your thoughts are clearly reciprocated, or your thoughts are affecting the surroundings. And the Vastu Shastra says, all your thoughts are captured and stored in your house where you stay. Because never think that where you stay, the place is a dead place. It is an alive energy. Alive energy. The houses where you stay, the ether has got the capacity to hold your thought or to collect your thought. Whatever you think, those thoughts just get settled in your house, in the place where you stay. It's like cobwebs, just like cobwebs. If 15 days, if you don't clear your house will be surrounded by cobwebs. The same way, if you don't do meditation or this type of spiritual things, your house will be surrounded by the negative cobwebs, negative thoughts. You see the physical thing, cobweb you can see and clear it. But the spiritual things, the subtle things, thoughts, you do not know how to see. You will not know how to clear. Whether you believe it or not, whether you want it or not, your thoughts are stored the place where you stay. That is why so many people come and tell me, Swamiji, outside my house, I am all happy, feeling beautiful, everything is nice. The moment I step into my house, the depression catches me. The depression catches me. The feeling of sickness, the feeling of sadness, feeling of sorrow catches me. Why it is, Swamiji? It is true. Because it is Akash, the Katakasha. Katakasha means never think the house is a dead space. It is a living being. House is a living being, the live space. The Lakshmi, about the when they describe the Lakshmi, they say the Griha is a Lakshmi, Griha Lakshmi. The very house is a Lakshmi. The very house is a Lakshmi. Somebody came and asked him, Swamiji, I wanted joy and the bliss in the house. What can I do? I told her, you radiate joy and bliss. You give your love always to your children, your kids, speak good words. That is the best way to open the Griha Lakshmi or the Griha Lakshmi's energy, to have the Griha Lakshmi's energy. She said, as soon as she heard the word Griha Lakshmi, she said, Swamiji, shall I do Griha Lakshmi Puja? You see, Griha Lakshmi Puja is perfectly alright. But what we do generally, when we enter the puja room, we do puja. When we come out of the puja room, we do archana to husbands. Puja to Lakshmi, archana to husband. Is it going to help? No. It's no way it is going to help. The thoughts which you radiate, the thoughts which you emit, is only going to get stored, or in a way you are energizing it. You are continuously energizing the house by your presence. It is up to you to decide whether to energize positively or negatively. Any of your thought, it is energizing your house. It is continuously energizing your house, either positively or negatively. All your thoughts are energizing. Most of the time, we have only the discontentment and dissatisfaction, fighting. Even if you don't fight with others, you fight with yourself, the guilt. All these thoughts only you release. So when we release all these thoughts, naturally the whole space in which you are living, that gets totally contaminated. If the river is flowing, it's pure and it makes others also pure. Whomsoever gets into it, it makes everybody pure. If the same river becomes a small pool, what happens? First, it gets the பாசிக்கு என்னமா சொல்வீங்க? All greens and mass. And then whomsoever enters into it, they also get the same dirt on them. Same way, if the house is, if it is not flowing with energy, if it is not bubbling with joy, if it is not bubbling with ecstasy, what's happening? It is just becoming like a pool. All our negativity, all our vibrations are just stored. When a master enters into the house, what happens? Master is like a Mahakasha. Mahakasha means the open sky. You are Chidakasha, the space in which you live. It is Ghatakasha. The space in which you are living is more or less like a pool. The master is like a Mahakasha, a river. Mahakasha means the open sky. He is the universe. The enlightened person is a universe because he has nothing inside. Now please be very clear. Enlightened person has no even good thoughts inside. Don't think enlightened person has got good thoughts inside. He has neither good thoughts nor bad thoughts. He is just emptiness. He is just emptiness. He is just open sky. Through him just the energy radiates. Nothing else. People come and ask me, Swamiji, how do you heal? Do you chant any mantra or do you make a sankalpa that we should get healed? Immediately you heal. We are getting healed. I tell them, I never do. I never make a sankalpa or I never chant any mantra. I tell you honestly, it's an open confession. I don't think that let somebody get healed. I never think any disease it may be. Anybody they may be. When they come and tell me, I never think that let them get healed or anything. I just give the presence, healing happens. When they come, I just touch and feel the energy to happen. And I just let go. I just let the energy to do what it wants. The healing happens. Master means is the man who has no thoughts, who has no mind. He is the representative of the Mahakasha. So when the Mahakasha enters into the Ghatakasha, it is simply flooded with energy. It's like a big river entering into a small pool. What will happen to that dirty pool? It will be simply washed away, cleansed and filled with a new water. That is what happened. Exactly the same thing happens in a multi-scale way, in a very big scale way, in a very big way when a master enters into the Ghatakasha. When a master enters into the space where you live, the whole thing is totally regenerated. The whole thing is recreated. They say the Vastu becomes Vastu. Vastu means your thoughts. Becomes Vastu means the place where you live. Vastu becomes Vastu. Your thoughts only becomes the space where you live. The place is different and the space is different. The place can be cleaned by vacuum cleaner, but the space can be cleaned only by meditation.